Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Generation in Between, a Xennial Podcast, where we remember, revisit, relearn, sometimes rewatch, sometimes
forgetting to say revisit.
I said it that time.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know I did, because I knew you were going to say that. It was the third one. I said it. But we do all those things, and you are here and part of our boy band series.
Except this is not a boy band because I don't like to be called a boy band.
Which we realized after we already decided to include them in our boy band series.
I know. Whoops. Our bad.
No word on if they're mad at us yet, but we'll let you guys know.
Stress.
This is part 2 of Boyz II Men. Part 1, if you haven't listened yet, you should really go back and listen to that first because we'll probably just breeze over a few things that we covered there more in depth because this episode we're going to talk more specifically about the 4 main members of the group, who they are as people, what they've done since their big heyday in the 90s, and what they're up to now.
Let me do my correction from just our other episode. They were not on the Snoop Dogg halftime show in 2022.
They were not.
It was other people.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, some other people, but they weren't there.
It wasn't them.
Whoops.
Well, maybe you are just manifesting a future state.
Maybe. But they had their own halftime show in 98, which we already said.
Yes, they did. So we're going to get into it about the 4 main members of the group. As we mentioned in the last episode, they're all from Philadelphia. They all went to high school together. That's kind of where the group formed. They had a few other members at the beginning that dropped off before they became really, really famous. So let me just start right away with Nathan Morris. He's the baritone. Still in the group. He was born June 18th, 1971. Of all 4 of these guys, I had the most trouble finding anything on him. I did find a few things.
Okay.
He's sort of, I wouldn't say he's not in the public eye because they're still performing and he's part of the trio that's still performing, but he's just very private.
Okay.
There's not a lot out there about him in general, but I did find that his family struggled financially when he was growing up. His father left them when he was around 10, and so he found a lot of solace in the church choir.
Aw.
And he played trumpet.
Aw.
Super fun. And when he was in 4th grade, a vocal teacher noticed his ability and level and started giving him free private lessons.
Wow.
And her and his mom nudged him into auditioning for the Philadelphia High School for the Creative and Performing Arts.
Love that.
Which is where he met the rest of Boyz II Men. And when he auditioned for the school, he belted out classical songs in Italian and German.
What? German is hard.
Yeah. He doesn't speak either language, but he learned the music for his audition.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was accepted to the school.
That's
probably
amazing.
Immediately on the spot. He's also a composer and an actor. He was actually in the movie White Men Can't Jump.
Oh, yeah.
In 92. And then he was in Tag in 2018. I've never seen that movie.
Me neither.
He composed the music for that movie, too.
Love that.
And then he was in Long Shot in 2019 and also composed the music for that.
Love that.
So he's doing some of that behind-the-scenes stuff, which makes sense if he had sort of classical training and plays trumpet and all the things. He understands music. In 2018, he hosted the show Hit Properties on the DIY Network, where he bought and renovated multi-million-dollar homes.
Another renovator.
Yeah, just like new
Just
kids.
like John.
Just like John. And John's the more private one of that group.
Yeah.
But apparently having their own television
Love
shows.
that.
But it's outside what they do as a performer.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of... And then I found that he's married to Rachel Morris, and I don't know if they have children. I couldn't find anything on that. I don't know anything else except that he is married to her. And that is really all I could find.
Wow.
I searched up his parents' names, siblings. I was digging deep.
Watch what's going to happen is one of our listeners is going to send us like a whole thing on him they find in 2 seconds because that happens to us all the time.
I will be so happy.
That happens to us all the time. It's like when you knew about the fire thing and I was like, what? And then it was right there.
Right in front of us. Yeah. I tried several different ways short of going to ChatGPT, which I did not do.
Good for you.
Now a listener might find it on there, but from normal internet research, I did not find it or on the Boyz II Men official website.
That's okay.
The official website barely says anything about any of them. It's just like, here's all the awards they won. And they're an amazing quartet/trio. Yeah. Which is understandable. That's all I got on Nathan Morris. So we're going to move on to Wanya Morris, which I mentioned in the last.
They're not related.
They are not related. And he was born July 29th, 1973. He's a tenor.
So they're all Gen X.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all born
They're a
between
little
71
older
and 73.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because they were in high school around the same time as each other. That's how they met. He's a tenor. His mom is Carla Morris and his father's Dallas Thornton. They never married, and they actually broke up when he was young, but he still has good relationships with both of them. He has one brother, Carrie, and two sisters, Serene and Dorothy.
Cute.
I love those names. Those are all good. I found what elementary school he went to. See, I went in the Wayback Machine. William Levering Elementary School in Roxborough, Philadelphia.
Okay.
It's a neighborhood in Philadelphia. And then the high school, the same one, the Philadelphia Creative and Performing Arts. He competed in season 22 of Dancing with the Stars. I mentioned in the last episode he placed 4th. And he was partnered with professional dancer Lindsay Arnold. They did make it to the semifinals of the show, as I mentioned. And he had the highest accumulative average at the time of their elimination. So
what does that mean?
I think Dancing with the Stars stands, you can let us know. Part of their score is the judges' score and part is votes.
Oh, okay.
And so whatever algorithm they use to put that together. So he had the highest judge scores.
Love that.
But he must not have had as many votes as like other people. And by the time you get to the final 4, it's like there's usually like a clear favorite that everyone's
he was in the final
for.
4 and they were the first to leave.
Yeah.
Bummer.
That's a big bummer. He's been in all sorts of TV and film appearances. He was on the music documentary film Happy on the Ground, The Odd Couple. Whose line is it anyway? Oh my gosh,
God,
that's so cool. Hollywood Darlings, To Tell the Truth, Long Shot, and Celebrity Wheel of Fortune.
Wait, you were just very surprised by reading that.
I read through it, but I forgot that Whose Line It Is It Anyway is an improv show.
Yeah.
It just like hit me that like, oh, he was on an improv show.
But they do a lot of singing.
They do.
Yeah, they do a lot of
That's a
singing
good
improv,
point.
which is hard as hell.
And I always kind of thought that Wanya was a little bit of like the kind of goofy one. Did you ever
is he
think
the
of that?
one who sings? Back in school, we used to dream about it. That's him.
That's him.
Okay.
That's him. Yeah.
That's what I think a lot of people think he's a lead singer, right? Or no?
No, I think most people think Sean is.
Okay.
But Wanya maybe. Between the two of them, they're the ones like that come to most people's minds, I think.
Okay.
And even though we talked about this on the last episode, they're all lead singers. They all have different parts. I do think those are the two that sing the most, or maybe the most memorable parts of songs that we think about, which makes sense because they're tenors.
Yeah.
And they get the they get the higher stuff, which is
melodies.
Is poppy and melody. Yeah. Makes sense. He appeared in the Christmas special, A Very Boy Band Holiday, in December 2021. I have never seen that, but that sounds amazing.
I would like that on my TV.
Me too. He also performed during I Can See Your Voice in March 2022. Do you remember this show?
No.
It was kind of, I don't think I ever watched a full episode, but I've definitely seen clips of it on social. It's similar to The Voice, where you can't see the person singing. It's like a blind judging.
But
just
it's called
judging.
I Can See Your Voice?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay,
so it isn't The Voice, but it's like that kind of
You're
thing.
judged without being looked at.
And it wasn't on for very long because I think it was kind of like a direct ripoff, but they tried to do it different and it just
didn't happen.
It just didn't happen. This was really cool when I read this fact. In September 2024, Wanya appeared on an episode of Pawn Stars. So when I first saw that, I was like, oh no, like what is he pawning? No. He was asked to authenticate a vinyl copy of Cooley High Harmony that was signed by the band, as well as a sheepskin jacket that was worn by Michael McCary on the album's cover.
Oh, so was it real?
Yeah. He said they were the real thing that a fan had or whatever.
That's amazing. Pawn Stars. I used to watch that.
It's fun.
The dad
right?
and the son, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They get all kinds of stuff. I mean, obviously, now people seek them out for stuff like this.
But their first few seasons was fun because it was when they were just
normal people
they would,
coming in with
argue all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So funny. Okay, so I have a little more on his personal life because there's at least one tumultuous thing in here. So he married Tracy Nash in May 2002. They have 6 children, 4 sons, 2 girls.
Okay.
His 4 sons have formed an R&B group called
God.
Wanmore. And that's it. I've looked up some stuff. That's not it on his personal stuff. I'm like, and that's all about that fact. Don't worry. More facts coming at you.
That's it.
So after 17 years of marriage and 6 children, they separated in 2019 because there was kind of a public affair he was having with Amber Reyes. Do you know who she is? That name looked familiar to me. I looked her up. She's basically like a skincare influencer.
Okay, I would never know that.
And she's pretty famous. She is best known for founding LA Laser.
I don't know what that
which is like a skincare laser company. And they had a marriage ceremony while he was still legally married to Tracy Morris.
What?
Yeah. And then he didn't officially divorce from her till like the next year. Yes. But celebrities like Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Boyz II Men member Sean Stockman did attend the second wedding. So I started on this little rabbit hole on her. Her age, again, listeners, you're going to find it in 5 seconds.
This is the Amber girl.
I cannot find how old she is anywhere. Not on her site. I looked on Wikipedia. I looked just like everywhere.
Mm-hmm. She's in the skin industry. She don't want people to know how old
They've had 2 more kids. Mm-hmm. So, and he's in his 50s.
So he's had 2 kids with her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So he has 8 kids total.
Okay. Wow.
And so I'm like, she's got to be at least in her early 40s.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe
but maybe younger.
Maybe older too. You don't know.
Maybe older. Yeah, maybe.
Some people stay fertile for a long time.
Yeah, maybe then.
I mean,
my guess is the reason we can't see her age is because she's older than she wants people to know. Well, that would be my guess.
We know people who hide their age.
Yeah. But I was like, I thought it'd be easy. I'd just like look it up and go to no, it's nowhere.
That's craziness.
I did find that she grew up in Hawaii and I don't know. She's got this huge online following.
No.
That's how I recognized her name.
I am not down with influencer culture. I have no idea who people are.
And I don't know. I couldn't find how they met either. I don't know if he like went to one of her like laser places or they met at a concert. They met on social media. I don't know.
Who knows?
So that's all for him.
Wow.
Lots of children and something going on there. Okay. Sean Stockman is Sean Patrick Stockman. He was born September 26, 1972. He's a tenor. He doesn't talk much about his family. I couldn't find his parents' name, but he did say that he just grew up with his mom.
Okay.
Not his dad around. And that unlike the other guys in the group who kind of grew up in like gospel culture and church culture, he really didn't. And he said that his mom was exploring different faiths as he was growing up and that was okay by him and that he learned a lot about music just from lots of different genres of pop music, rock, rap, all the things, but that he didn't really learn his like vocal technique in church.
Okay.
Like the other guys. I don't think it really hurt him though. So he was also a member of the group Black Men United. Never heard of that until I was doing this research. And then he was a judge on the show The Sing Off for 5 seasons.
Don't know that either.
The Sing Off. I think that was the one where it was a cappella groups. Yes, it was.
Oh, fun.
And so Pentatonics was on there. They were on one of the first seasons. Yeah, and it was a cappella groups.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah. That's fun. I remember watching, I don't think it's on anymore, but I remember watching the first and second season and being like, well, this show won't last that long because how many of these groups are there out there? But I think it was on for forever.
Sure there's a bajillion.
Yeah. I don't know. They were all just so good. I'm like, how are they ever going to find more groups like this?
Endless.
But people are just talented. What can I say? So anyway, he did record a solo album during the late 1990s, but it was never released.
Aww.
I don't know why.
Bummer.
Maybe that's somewhere. Let's see. I already said that.
I am surprised that none of them have done solo stuff. Like more.
I know, right? Because even with New Kids on the Block, they kind of all went off and did different stuff. So he appeared in this group, Black Men United, while he was recording the 2 album. And they had a hit, I guess, called You Will Know.
Oh, so he was in it at the same time Boyz II Men was big?
I guess so.
That's interesting.
He also writes music and composes, and he wrote and sang the song Visions of a Sunset for Mr. Holland's Opus soundtrack.
Oh, that movie is so
I love that movie. I don't know if I remember that song, though. I probably, as soon as I heard it, I would know it. But he also wrote the songs Forever, Hot Thing, and Let It Go.
Let It Go?
No, not Let It Go. That's got to be for... Let's see, which played during the Showtime film. Okay, no, it was in a Showtime film called 17 again.
I was like,
not Frozen. That was what's her name? not Kristen
I
Bell.
don't
Well,
know.
she didn't sing it. Idina Menzel sang it. Robert and something Lopez.
Well, I'm not going to know. You could say whoever you want.
Robert, and I can't remember his wife's name, but they write all the Disney hits these days. He also has a cover out there, and I looked it up and listened to it. It's pretty good, of Beyonce's hit single, If I Were a Boy. And he's contributed vocals on the Foo Fighters album Concrete and Gold.
That's an interesting song for him to have a cover of.
I know.
Because the whole point of the song is her being a woman.
I know. It sounded good. I don't know why he did it. Maybe he just is a Beyonce fan.
Okay.
But of all her songs...
I know. That's an interesting choice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
Interesting. He is married to Sharonda Jones, and he's the cousin of another soul singer named Anthony David, who I guess is really popular in the Atlanta area.
Okay.
This is interesting. He has 4 children with Sharonda, and 2 of them are twins. Yeah. And one of the twins is a child, well, an adult now with autism. Uh-huh. And so he and his wife founded the organization Micah's Voice, which helps support other families with children with autism. And it essentially helps you find care because it's so overwhelming, and also tries to help with the expenses associated with raising a child with autism. So him and his wife are really involved in that cause, which is great.
Yeah.
All right. Michael McCary, as we mentioned in the last episode, he stopped performing with the group in 2002, 2003, and has popped back in here and there. And he does have multiple sclerosis, which is a progressive chronic illness. Mm-hmm. So with time, mobility gets harder, function gets harder, that sort of thing. He was born December 16th, 1971. He's the bass of the group.
Yes.
Known as Bass or Mike Bass.
Some people call him Mike Bass.
I love that. And his parents were Ornetta Thomas and Robert McCary, and he grew up with a brother named Robert McCary Jr. And in 2003, so specifically, he left Boyz II Men because he was having back spasms specifically, which later was part of the symptoms of his MS. Ugh. Yeah, he actually kept his condition from the other band members. He didn't make it public until 2016.
I mean, I get it. Like, if you're having a hard time coming to grips with it, and like some people don't want their shit out there, right. Like, and it's a very private thing, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, you don't have to share anything if you don't want to.
No.
He did have an interview with Oprah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wanya and some of the other band members had an interview with Oprah before like this all came out, and they were asked about Michael leaving the group, and Wanya made a comment about how he had a lack of motivation.
Oh,
yeah, that's what we talked about with like the chronic illness stuff. He accused McCary of not showing up to work, and that the group eventually had to carry on without him.
I have several friends who have various, chronic illnesses of various kinds, like fibromyalgia or arthritis or whatever. Yeah. And it's hard because I think, you don't walk around. It's hard with those illnesses that, especially the early stages of MS, that people can't see. Mm-hmm. And I know that I've had several friends be like, people just think I'm like lazy or being dramatic when I like can't get out of bed. Like I am so tired. I have no energy, can't move. Like it hurts to move. And some days are like that, and some I'm fine.
Right.
So they were like, I've talked to several friends who are like, people just don't understand, like, those invisible illnesses that you don't know people are going through. And so that must have been really hard for him because he's dealing with this. He don't want to talk about it. And then they think that he's just unmotivated.
Right. And then there's the mental toll of all that, right?
Of course.
The huge mental toll of chronic illness, invisible diseases.
Yeah.
Like mental health is one of those, but on top of the physical, I read something recently about Christina Applegate that she at this point has to force herself to get up and to take her daughter to school, and then she just comes back and some days, not every day, gets in bed or whatever. And that is just like, it's awful. So yeah, he carried that around for a long time. He was supposed to be he was in the pilot for a talk show with Paula Poundstone.
Oh my God.
Called A Pound of Paula, but it never was picked up by anywhere. So it never happened.
She's so funny.
She's hilarious.
I know.
I think that's a weird pairing. Like,
that is a really weird pairing.
You're out of the public eye, but you're going to be on her pilot talk show? I don't know. I don't know
what that connection is. Was he going to be doing music?
I guess so. I mean, like, it's a talk show.
Some talk shows have like the music, like the people playing music on the side.
Oh, maybe.
You know what I mean?
Maybe it was something like that. I didn't find that he plays anything else though.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Other than singing, but he probably does. These people be musical geniuses. He did appear on the TV series. Have you ever watched House of Healing on Oprah's own network?
I have never seen anything on her network. No.
It's kind of like was it Intervention? That was on MTV or VH1, where they have like a professional, and often they have regular people, but sometimes they have celebrity versions of it. It's kind of like that with a psychiatrist. And so he was on there, and he was talking about his struggles with depression and like strain on his relationships with his kids and stuff. Yeah, I know. Poor guy. But as we mentioned in the last episode, just this year, 2026, he sang with Boyz II Men at one of their concerts in Vegas. And I mean, at least on a personal level, it seems like they all know now and are on board and aren't mad or whatever.
Well, they probably feel kind of bad.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can only address what you know.
Right.
So.
Right. Totally. That is like all I have on personal stuff about them. I revisited this like 3 days in a row, asking different questions. At one point, I typed into Google, "Show me anything on Boyz II Men," because I'm like, if I just literally just go down the row and read all these articles, but it was just repetitive stuff that I already had, and I was like, who are the parents of da 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 da, and then it was a whole rabbit hole, but. I think that's interesting. And you and I talked about this before we started recording. The why of this.
Yes.
Okay. First and foremost, Boyz II Men isn't your typical boy band.
Right.
They weren't manufactured.
Right.
They came to this organically. And I think there's an element of the manufacturing where you really are trying to sell the person and all the personalities in the group. So like Donnie Wahlberg comes from this big family, and that's part of his story. And that's part of how we sell him. And vice versa. Whereas like for Boyz II Men, I'm not saying they didn't have publicists that didn't want to do that, but it's a little bit less that way.
Well, they were kind of seen as a unit more than like individuals that made a unit.
Totally. Which makes sense because even as a trio, it's not really the same. And you notice they've never replaced him.
Right.
They've never had members, at least since they started recording and releasing things and were really widely known, they've never switched out members.
Right.
Like, they are, like you said, the unit that they are. So there's that. We also, we mentioned the racial component to this, especially from when they're coming up, that even Maurice Starr said. Maurice Starr, who is a black man, said, I want to form a white boy group, knowing.
Basically, that's where the money is.
Saying that's where the money was. So is that part of it too?
I mean, it's
that
gotta
people
be.
Just weren't. Whoever the people were who would like be selling this just weren't.
Well, let's be real. We live in America. The people in power are white men. They always have been. It's just part of our history. You can't deny that, no matter where you stand on anything. And the music industry is no different. And what is fed to us in pop culture is what the people in charge decide.
Right.
And, I feel like we're making minuscule steps forward to have more voices and more, representation for all people. But now I feel like we're in this huge backswing. Huge.
Definitely.
But I feel like the arts is where I feel like any kind of arts, dramatic, musical, that's where I feel like the most pushback comes from. And I feel like it's always been like that.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we'll continue fighting the good fight, causing good trouble. So, but unfortunately, I think that like you not being able to find as much stuff on them individually is a glaring spotlight on the reality of racism in all factors of our country.
Yeah.
I really do.
I agree. And I think the other side of it is, if you're looking at, I mentioned this on the last episode, there wasn't a lot of controversy around them. They kind of like showed up, did their work, all the things, you know, maybe a little later with Wanya's second marriage and all that, but that has nothing to do with the group.
Yeah.
But if they were,
yeah,
quote unquote, bad boys or getting into trouble or whatever, I would have found all of that and then some.
Right.
There just wasn't anything really defined, which is great.
Well, and
so
they probably, as Black men in America, were trying, and in the public eye, they were probably like, hey, we gotta, like, everybody's like, we have to be extra, you know, whatever, and keep our stuff together because people are already watching us, waiting for us to, you know, mess up or be bad boys or whatever. And that's unfortunate too, because, well, that's just racism, period.
It is.
Period. So I think that is a good point to recognize, especially looking back on groups from the 80s and 90s.
Right.
And where the money went, where the money was made, where the money went into growing. And it's almost like, and the fact that we are white ladies who loved this group while they were popular, because at the time it was in the mainstream pop world.
Of course.
But then as soon as they fell out,
like a lot of the stuff I talked about on the last episode was stuff I didn't know.
Yeah.
Until I looked into it. I'm like, oh, they're literally going to be in Orlando. Oh, they had 15 albums. I own maybe 3, maybe 4, you know? Like, it's just, it's the case of it. I will say, they seem very happy to still be performing, and they seem happy with like their level of fame, whatever that was at the time and even now. You know, the new kids, we talked about how they like are so excited about their fan base and all of that. I don't really necessarily get that from Boyz II Men, but that they are certainly respectful of that, and they appreciate that people still want to hear their music. And I like that they're, like we mentioned on the last episode, they're always doing different variations of music and trying different stuff and singing new things. It's not just like, we're going to sing our songs from 1992 only.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, look,
because there's an audience for it,
and I'm sure they are singing.
And there's a lot of groups out there who are like, I'm just gonna sing what was.
I'm just gonna sing what you want me
there's
to.
There's a lot of groups out there that do that, but good for them. I mean, they're very talented. They're very entertaining. I mean, good job, Katie, on your research.
Do you think that they're a boy band after everything we've talked about?
I don't want to say, because, well, I guess it depends on how you define boy band.
True.
They're a band that is full of boys.
Yes. And they were young, but they were boys when they started.
The definition that I don't remember which member it was that explained.
It was Nathan.
Okay.
Morris.
That Nathan said, where he said, you know, a boy band was manufactured, which was even true for New Edition. I mean, Maurice Starr created them.
Correct.
Same with New Kids, and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, who are going to be next, which is very interesting, because did you know they were managed by the same label, which everybody, like, they were, NSYNC was created to pit against Backstreet Boys. It's crazy, y'all. I was watching the Dirty Pop documentary.
Ooh.
Girl, this man, Lou Pearlman.
Oh, God.
Girl.
Oh, I'm dreading that part.
Girl. Anyway, if you're saying it by that definition of, like, you know, all the ones, and like Lou Pearlman created all kinds of boy bands. There were so many. It was Backstreet. It was NSYNC. It was O-Town. It was
Was 98 Degrees in there? Or was that a different? I think that was a different label.
But LFO.
Oh, LFO.
They had I'm trying to remember. Do you remember Natural?
No.
Okay. I didn't remember them either until I saw them on this documentary and I looked them up, and then you'd
rung
remember.
a bell. Okay.
But there were so many. Like, no, Boyz II Men is not that version of a boy band.
Right.
So,
and I think, like, we both said who our favorite, like, you know, who the one we had a crush on or whatever last time. But I feel like...
Oh, I had a crush on the bass. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. And maybe because also they presented as such a unit. And they didn't have, like, everyone loved Justin Timberlake, but he's also like the lead vocalist, and everyone loved Jordan.
He was not my favorite NSYNCer.
Okay, but a lot of people
did. Get there.
Yeah, a lot of people did. So this unit, you don't necessarily look at it and say, oh, Sean's the lead singer, or if you do think, you know, like, it's more of a unit, whereas boy bands kind of have the different tropes of people, I feel like.
And girl
they
bands,
really
girl
don't.
groups too.
Oh yeah, girl groups too.
Yeah.
Even K-pop, like they thrive on that. Like this is the cutesy one. This is the, sporty one. This is the,
If we were in a girl group, who would we
what
be?
trope would we be right now in our lives?
Not like this instant. This would be hot mess and hot mess too.
Yeah, this would be bad.
Where do you think you would land? I think I know.
Me? I think I'd be. I have no idea.
Okay, let's talk Spice Girls. Who would you be in the Spice Girls?
Okay, let's do it that way. I think I honestly don't know. Who would you be?
I think you would be Baby.
I was gonna say Baby
because she's so innocent and he sings high and all that.
Yeah, I could see that. I think you'd be maybe Sporty.
Oh,
or Scary.
I was gonna say Scary.
I think Scary. I think Scary. I had to think about it.
She didn't want to say that out loud.
I'm gonna say Sporty first and follow up.
I'm not sporty though. That's the thing. I don't play sports.
But I think of like Sporty as like she was cute and fun and like.
But she was sporty. I don't play
she
no
was
sports.
Sporty.
Like I play
athletic.
zero. Here's the thing that's funny, and we talked about this before. I am fit, but I am not athletic.
I don't know that she played sports though.
No, they'd always show her with like a soccer ball or like a basket. Like, guys, I wouldn't even know how to hold one.
Okay, fair enough. So you're Scary Spice.
I would be. Yeah, when I was in high school, I used to always dress like Ginger Spice, but I'm 45 now, so that's not. I'm
like
more
Ginger
Scary.
Spice,
yeah, but that's not us.
Yeah, I'm Baby and you're Scary. That's the one. That's the one. And I think those would be our tropes, probably.
It would be, yeah.
You'd be like loud and out there and up front, and I'd just be singing high
and sweet
and very vanilla.
I wouldn't say she's vanilla.
You don't
I think she's just like sweet and innocent.
Okay.
And
I go with that.
Yeah.
I go with that. Well, I don't know that we're ever going to need to know that for anything. But you never know. Maybe Halloween costume. We got to start thinking ahead.
Well, all right.
All right. Well, don't leave us before the... I don't know. Don't leave us ever.
Don't leave us before
this
what?
This is the portion when I hypnotize you. No. I was going to say don't leave us before the end of our boy band series because we've got some good ones coming up.
We do.
In Sync.
And there's a lot of controversy arising coming up. I know.
Oh, no.
There's a lot. I haven't even started the research. I was just watching that documentary and
my stomach's starting to hurt thinking about it. I'm also really hungry.
Okay, so
we're gonna go. We will see you next time here on Generation In Between. Woo! Bye, guys.
Bye.